Well, good afternoon, my fellow followers of the way. My name is Pastor Adam Sullivan, and this is Tell Me More Tuesday. And I gotta say right off the bat, I'm feeling a little guilty today because it has been a few weeks since I've been with you at Tell Me More Tuesday, and no excuse. I can tell you things have been busy, but who can't say that? And I just want to get back to making this a priority because there's often things that don't quite make it into the message on Sunday. And this is the place where we share those things that are extra. And I can tell you more about what God's been speaking to me as we have been going through the scriptures. And we've been specifically going through the scriptures of the Sermon on the Mount found in Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7. And this has been the series we've been going through that we've called The Way of the Master. And this last week, we talked about just one simple verse, the golden rule. And you know it. You know the golden rule in Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. Even if you've never been to church, if you haven't been around church, you probably know the golden rule: do to others what you would like them to do to you. And Jesus says this is the essence of all that is taught in the law and of the prophets. And in the message on Sunday, I kind of went through a quick bullet point. I even had it on the screen. If you go back and you watch the message, it was a 5 bullet point thoughts about what the golden rule does and how the golden rule is active. It's not passive. I can't just ignore other people to actually walk out the golden rule that Jesus gives. It's an active process for me. And I laid out 5 things that it requires us to do. And then we quickly kind of moved on. And so I just want to take a moment and camp on those and just unpack them a little bit and talk about them. So the golden rule, it challenges us first to know God, to do to others what we would like done to us. It requires us to first know God, because the second thing that it challenges us to do is to know what God has declared good. There's a big difference between knowing what I think is good and knowing what God is good, because as God is our designer, as he's our creator, he knows exactly what is good for us. And so we know inherently we want the things that God designed for us. We want to live the way God designed for us. We want the blessings that God has for us. We want to do things God's way, because as our creator, he knows the best possible way for us to live that will give us the best possible life, the most good in our life. And so anybody, everybody, however you want to say that, wants their best possible life. They want to live their best life. They want what's best for them. Well, to obtain that, we have to seek what God declares good for us. And so if I'm going to live out the golden rule, first I've got to know God. And second, I've got to know, what does he say is good? If I'm going to do something for someone else, I want to do the most possible good for them that I can. And so what does God say is good? And that's what I need to do. Thirdly, the golden rule challenges me to know myself. Okay. I'm going to do to others whatever I would like them to do to me. So I've got to know myself, know exactly what are my motivations? What are my desires? What are things that are important to me? What are things that would be special to me? What are ways that people communicate to me that show me my value, that show me love? I got to know myself. I need to know my own insecurities. I need to know my own areas where I easily trip up. I've got to seek to know myself so that I can treat others in a way that I would want to be treated. I can't just pull something out of thin air. I've got to know myself first. And then fourthly, just like I need to know myself, I need to know my fellow man. To do to others, I got to know other people. The golden rule calls us into relationship, not just thinking generalizations about people, not just thinking, how people are basically, but this one person that I'm thinking of, I need to know them. I need to get to know them. I need to understand where they've come from. What are their desires? What drives them? What are ways that communicate to them? What are ways that teach them? What are ways that let them know that they are loved? I have to know my fellow man. And finally, the golden rule challenges me to give God's goodness to my fellow man based on their circumstances. Based on their circumstances. Because I can do someone, here's why that's important. I can do something to someone that I would want done to me, but outside of their circumstances, it may be acceptable. But if I look into their circumstances. I need to pick something that to them. I need to do things to them that are good, that communicate love right where they're at. Let me give you an example. There are times when it means a lot to get an attaboy. There's times when it just makes your day for somebody to give you a compliment and say, hey, that was great. I'm proud of you. And there are other times when things maybe haven't gone well. Maybe things have blown up in your face. And maybe this is just me, but I think there's more people than just me who are like this. If things are going really, really bad, that's not the time I want a compliment. Okay. And you may think, well, that'll help. I'm going to give you a compliment. Hey, it was great. No, if things are going bad, I just need to take a minute and I need to process what's going on. And later, yeah, let's have some compliments that an attaboy is great. But in that moment, I need to know, I need to analyze what happened. I need to figure out where can I improve. And somebody coming along saying, trying their best to help me feel better, it just kind of falls flat for me. And maybe you're the same way, where in one situation, the thing that outside of that situation would mean a lot to you, inside that situation, it just doesn't. It falls flat. And so that's why whenever we're dealing with other people's and we're trying to live out the golden rule, do to others that what we would like them to do to you, we need to understand their situation. Do what God declares good for them based on their situation. Because what does this do? What is the golden rule? Ultimately, what's its goal? Well, it comes back to the greatest commandment. The golden rule and the greatest commandment is tied together. It's for us to draw near to God and love the Lord our God with all our heart, and also to love people as we love ourselves. And so we're calling people into those relationships. We're calling people into a relationship with God because he loves them so dearly. And we're calling them into a relationship with us because we love them. And so be challenged by the golden rule. Be active in the pursuit of living out the golden rule. Don't be passive. I don't think it's even possible to be passive and live out the golden rule. It has to be active. Well, church, I want to remind you of one thing. If you're a man in the Sultan area, in this valley, then we have a men's conference coming up. And I'm really excited about this men's conference because we are going to be going on the weekend of May 14th and 15th. And the cost for everybody is $99. But if you're a young man between the ages of 14 and 24, then we've got a special rate for you. It's cut in half. It's $49, $49.50 to be exact. And so we want you to join us on this event. Go hear some powerful, nationally known speakers, be challenged in your faith, and let's grow together too. So join us there. You can sign up for that on our website. If you've got any question about how to do that, go to our website, mymountainview.church. And as a matter of fact, I'll put a link in the description below exactly where to go for the men's conference sign-up link if you have trouble navigating our website. And you can click there and you can pay and get registered immediately. So do it and join us on that weekend for that great event. God bless you, church.